Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host here, Dano, giving you the best content on the internet. If you stay for 10 minutes, you're going to stay for the entire episode. I promise you. You just wait and see, because we have something special and somebody special here for you today. We have Landon McKinnis, the founder of Go Nutz. And when I tell you, you guys need to hear about, Landon's story and everything that it took for him to open up his own professional grooming service and having his own grooming products. You guys are going to want to hear this. So Landon, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started today?
I want to say hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. Excited to share my journey. Excited to talk to all your viewers and followers, and just excited and blessed to be here. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being on here today. Remember, everybody, we got to raise our vibrations to match Landon's energy for today, and to, raise our own energy to feel good about ourselves. And with Landon, man, he's going to make us feel good about ourselves, mentally and physically as well. Because like I said, his products are absolutely amazing. So we're going to hear about all of that. So let's raise our vibrations. We got to share this video, and do whatever you got to do, because it's time to get ready for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. Let's go, man. I'm super excited to be here. Like you guys already know, my positivity posse, there's nowhere else and I would rather be than with you guys here every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Pacific time. But like I said, we got a great episode here with Landon McKinnis. And I'm telling you, he has some pretty big claims about his product. His product is the Go Nutz shaver and personal body groomer for men. And then for women, it's the Go Bear as well. So if you're a woman or a man and you want to get your, bodily grooming services needed, please check out the Go Nutz. And he's going to tell you all about it, because like I said, these are his claims. And it took a lot for him to get to where he is today with, patents and a lot of, artwork designs and going through many, simulations and a lot of great things that he had to go through to get to where he is today. So like I said, I'm super excited to bring this product to you guys and to bring Landon to you to hear about his story, just in case you guys might be going through similar, trials and tribulations and how to overcome them. Because that's what we talk about here on Weekly Dose of Dano, and helping you guys find, that next level or that next gear that we all know we have within each other and within ourselves. But it's just how we can go about it to unleash the great things that we have going on for today. So let's look at some of these comments. Yo, what's going on, Shane? Nice to see you, my guy. Check out his he also has a podcast as well, Three Beards of Wrestling. So I hope everything is going great with that. Jeanette, nice to see you. Hashtag Positivity Posse. Lou, hashtag Positivity Posse. Carmen, hashtag Positivity Posse. You guys are absolutely lighting it up in the comments. So thank you so much for being here. Dan, your hairstyle looks good. Dano, I appreciate it. You know what? If everything goes as great as it goes with Landon's Go Nutz shaver, I know a lot of you guys out there have been saying, it's been really split in half, saying, hey, you need to shave that off your face. Or other people are saying, hey, we love what's going on. But we're going to see what happens and if Landon's going to be able to convince us to show us what his product is all about. But man, I'm really excited to share his story and his journey. So he's going to be with us for the first half of the episode. So I don't want to do too much talking, because I'm telling you, his story is absolutely incredible. And we got to get to all of the great things and his story and his products and everything that encapsulate Landon McKinnis in order to bring him on and really share, his story and to help you guys out there. So please, in the comments, light it up, put a fire chat, put a heart emoji, something to welcome Landon McKinnis on the show. Landon, what are you doing, man? Stop shaving back there with the Go Nutz groomer. It's time to get on the show. Thank you so much for being here today, man. How you feeling today?
Feeling great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. This was one awesome introduction.
Oh, man, you already know. Awesome introduction for an awesome man who has an awesome product. And Landon, if you wanted to just give us like a little overview about what it is that you have, tell us about the Go Nutz line or the product.
So I have a very uniquely designed electric personal grooming razor for the neck down for your personal grooming needs. What I did was I reverse engineered it, took away all the things that bite you, cause rashes or gashes, and allowed you to be able to use it feeling more confident, not having, subconscious thoughts about having to be too safe, and allows you to go nuts while you use it, so that you can actually use it in the manner it's intended for by getting into all the areas and nooks and crannies that it needs to get into without having to actually stab, jab, or cut yourself.
Man, that is absolutely amazing. So we have a comment right here. It says, Go Nutz. I love the name. And I know you have a few different products and like accessories to go with the Go Nutz brand. So you have Go Nutz. You have a traveling case or traveling sack called the ball sack. And then a traveling case called the nut case as well. So let's talk a little bit about that, because these names, they work so well and it just really catches your eye versus, there's other products out there like Harry's and Gillette, where those are all boring, but we're talking about Go Nutz. So the name fits, it's great, and your product is a massive success. So tell us how you came up with the names for all of these products.
It all came down to it's in the name, and then actually what it's designed for and what it was designed to do. Just as effortlessly as I use, a straight razor to shave my hair. I noticed, like, when you go to the barber, how when they sit there and they do the fade, and effortlessly they just are doing that. Or I use mine and I'm like, the only place that we don't do that without subconsciously taking our time, being very careful, because we know we don't want to hurt ourselves in some of those sensitive areas. This isn't always necessarily so sensitive, but if you're being honest with yourself, you've had that barber nick you somewhere around here when they're lining you up, or you've had them at the top of your ear. You feel how hot those little clippers are when they're trying to get over here. Some people might have even had someone even nick their ear and bleed, or even when you're using your straight shaver, you have somebody who actually walks around with some piece of toilet paper or spot because they've cut themselves or somewhere. I've cut myself. All of us have injured ourselves with these products, right? But we all have to continue to use them because it's reward versus risk versus reward, because it's the only thing that we're given to use. And I looked, it's like, hey, I'm a consumer. Stop lying to me. You're only rewrapping stuff over and over again and then just telling me to use it for something else, right? So I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to actually design something that's actually designed for what it's supposed to be used for, use it in that manner, and be able to go nuts using it with the confidence that I needed to have, that I don't need to actually injure myself in a manner to where I'm not going to be able to be confident later when I need to be confident, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, man. Where were you like 3 weeks ago when I went out on a date and I wanted to shave and look all nice before? And the same exact thing that you said happened. I actually nicked myself a few times, and that plays a part in your confidence going in, because you just don't feel right down there, or in the face, with the marks and everything. So it's really important to always take care of ourselves mentally, physically and spiritually as well. So this is just one of those things that help us with that physical well-being for one another. And like I said, it's really important because you just never know who you might meet. And it's like you said, you'll be walking down the street and you'll have like a person, or maybe a girl, or, business partner that you might meet. You never know who you're going to meet. So it's always the best to look your best. And I want to share the website a little bit just to show, because it is very important that you go check out this website because it's awesome. And let me just share the screen for you really quick. And here we go. Now, I am going to be a little bit honest with you, Landon. It was kind of hard to find this website. So do you have anything in the works as far as like, marketing or anything to help us find the website maybe a little bit easier?
Social media, we're going crazy on TikTok, Instagram right now. Obviously, I'm in a big market right now. So going into that, I've been working on this for the past 5 years. And in that 5-year span, the elephant in the room has been able to establish and actually recognize there's a market. So as you notice, the competition looks kind of like similar to that. So in that time span, I've had to actually do a lot of pivoting to make sure to get myself at the top of there, because when you use some of the type of same keywords when going after the same type of audience, they kind of have a elephant's foot mark, I should say, footprint. An elephant type footprint. So a lot of that. So we're working on it. We just launched May 31st. We've been selling like hotcakes ever since we launched. We've pushing 250,000 views on TikTok. I mean, we've got a lot going on right now. But the website's at thegonutz.com, TheGonutz.com. That's thegonutz.com, or _GoNuts on all your social media. Like I said, the links are all in the bios, or you can go straight to the website. We ship out throughout the United States. It'll be at your door in 1 to 2 days once you place your order with us.
I love that, man. And like I said, the website is very professionally done. And I'm kind of curious because, if something sounds too good to be true, you're telling me that I can shave with your Go Nuts product without getting nicked or not feeling anything. How can you make such a great claim? Because I know the hours and I know a little bit about your backstory, how you have a patent with the United States, government and all the great things. So what makes you so confident that you can make a claim that you can shave and not get nicked or not have any of these scratches while you're doing it?
Because I went through 16 different prototypes. I made sure to take my time. Just like if you're cooking like a fine wine, you take your time with it. It's like barbecue, low and slow. And just like with this process, I didn't rush it. I didn't want to just put out just another average product. I didn't want to just put out anything and then say, well, I'm just having to put out anything. I didn't want to steal someone else's idea and change it up a little bit, like some of the drop shipping stuff that goes on. I didn't want to be just another average Joe out there trying to white label somebody else's product off of Alibaba or something like that. I actually wanted to create and actually re-engineer and have something that was unique, something that was appealing, and not only that, but actually does what it says it's going to do, and something that I could be proud of and not embarrassed of, and actually being able to share with my friends and family who all actually had the enjoyment of using it and being all my testers before I knew it was ready to be launched to everyone else. So yeah, I made sure I took my time. I went from a drawing on the page to going into retail stores, looking at all the shelves, doing my research on Google, reverse engineering, demanding that certain parts are used, demanding that things are put in the right place for consumer concerns, making sure it's waterproof, not just water resistant, making sure that that the blades are hitting, making sure you actually can get a good cut from it, making sure it does fit the right way, that it's the right size, that it fits, that it charges, that the battery lasts long enough, the charger, the cable that comes with it is universal. So it's not that you can plug it into any USB, just like when anything that comes nowadays, you have to have a USB adapter. So that means you can plug it in anywhere, your car, take it out of the country, anywhere with you. As long as you have a USB adapter, you'll be able to use it anywhere. A lot of people charge it because it has 2.5 hours of charging time. So you can charge it, take it with you along when you travel and throw it in your nutsack, throw it in your bag.
Yeah. I love that too. And the keywords that earlier in what you just said, two things popped out to me. And I'm so glad that you were able to cover it. That's how you know you were doing your homework. You talked about white labeling and you talk about drop shipping. And a
Yep.
lot of people are doing that nowadays. So most
Yep.
of the time, if you see a product on, TikTok or social media, whatever it's going to be, all they do is they have these manufacturers that literally all produce the same product. So let's say if you have, a multivitamin, right? They're these companies or shipping people that are in foreign countries, whether it's in China, wherever it is that they source from. It's literally all the same thing, but all they do is change the packaging to add your brand and your logo onto whatever it is that they'll be providing. And it's so refreshing to hear that you actually took the time to make it from scratch, to make sure that they are getting a quality product. Because like I said, a lot of things nowadays, people don't even know that drop shipping is involved with it, and white labeling is a thing too, whether it's from software, whether it's, like I said, from vitamins, whether it's from products, whatever it is. It's so refreshing and amazing. So thank you for creating this product. Now, I know when you're coming up and you're having such a huge success, it might not all be, rainbows and sunshines and butterflies. Have you had like any of the big players or big competitors, kind of like maybe nudge you off the market or try to throw you off your path or anything like that?
So not yet. Not that I have yet, but I also am not poking the bear with anybody. I'm staying in my lane and staying within and doing my own thing. That's why I don't name names and don't call out others. I just that's being honest about what direction I took. I mean, not naming names, but a lot of the stuff that we are sold or what's on the market, like you said, is repackaged stuff. So it's baby hair clippers that were sold and then told that it's for sensitive hair. But because it's sensitive enough for a baby, but it's technically you're using baby products and you just don't know it. But that's how much research I was doing before. So yeah, I wanted to figure out something that actually is designed and used, and like someone's like, hey, why don't you guys like make something for us, not just for your profits.
100%, man. And I think it's kind of rare to find that nowadays because, as we were talking about earlier, it's so easy. Like, if you were to look up just how to do a drop shipping video, you out there could have whatever product that you wanted, not go nuts, because obviously there was a lot of time and effort and passion put into it. But anybody can do it, where they just go on, whether it's a high school student or a college student, go on, make a nice little shop, take whatever product it is out there, and you can just start selling it yourself. So that's just basically what white labeling. Well, white labeling, the product is already made for you. All you do is you download it or take it and you just sell
Put
it.
your own label on it.
But yeah, so like I said, it's so amazing to hear that you actually took the time in the process to make the Go Nutz shaver. Now, when you first started, how long did it take for you to actually, when you first had the idea to your head, to having the final prototype for you and actually being out, in your hand? How long did that process take?
It took 3 years to get to a fully functional prototype, and then another year in getting the mold done for the tooling. So there's a lot of that's different processes in manufacturing before you can even manufacture a retail ready product. And it starts with that initial fully functional prototype. So going through a number of configurations, variations, and tests, samples, different sizes, shape, lights in different places, buttons in different places, so all of that, going through all that, and then coming down to something. And then once you go then you have to go and then you got to get a manufacturer that's going to be able to actually manufacture every single part within there, obviously multiple times over. So there has to be an initial mold that's created, not from just a 3D prototype. You take that and then you got to use real parts, real materials, right? And then you got to figure out what materials and all that. And then once you go to that, you get the mold, then you get your tooling done. And once you get your tooling done, then that's when you start your process for actually manufacturing multiple products. So I took the long road, but that's why I'm so confident and I know what I built, because it's down to the last spec of the product. I know it.
Man, and that's amazing too. So anybody that was doubting it, he just gave you the whole blueprint and what he had to do right there. And, you were just confident, like you said, in everything that you did. And you can tell that it translates to the product as well, because, there are so many different features that you have on there that you thought about fixing whatever it is that you can fix that we might have issues with now. Like a traveling mode, when you hold the button on 3 to 5 seconds for the Go Nutz device, and
Right.
when you're going around, and let's say you're traveling at the airport where it's so easy to bump into something, you won't waste your battery life. Or like you said, the waterproof, so you can use it in or out of the shower, or at the pool, or hopefully you're not using it at the pool because you don't want
can though. You can use it in the bathtub. You can use it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then instead of actually having plastic clips, I've got magnets. So the top, it's a magnet attachment, so it's not a twist or a lock or anything like that. We wanted to be a little bit futuristic, so you just pop it off and pop it back on, and you're able to be right back in action. So like you said, and then just the way that it lights up green. So like even from that, I wanted to make sure it lit up. So when you have it and you put it in lock mode, it's going to flash red for you, so you know it's in lock mode. I thought that was important for people. Everything down to that, everything, like people like things that light up and things like that, to the size of how it is in your hand. So I looked up everything from, like a tennis ball to a baseball to make sure that the size relativity is there for everybody that wants to actually use it in their hand. So it wasn't going to be as big as a softball, can't be as small as, obviously it's got to be big enough to hold all the components inside, but yet comfortable enough to fit in your hand. Everybody's hand's different, but typically everybody knows everybody can use a baseball, or even that to even get, or even, for the ladies, the tennis ball. So even researching the size of everything and going down to it. And then you have the Go Bear one, which is for the ladies as well. So,
man, there you go. So if you're interested, please reach out to Landon. You can find his social media right underneath him at the Go Nutz, _Go Nutz. And then the website is the Go Nutz, straight up, no underscore. But it wasn't always easy, I bet, because, you wanted to take the time and dedication to make sure that you're creating the best thing that you can. In those 3 years in the beginning of you starting everything, I know it wasn't easy. That's 3 years from you to actually design a product. You're not really selling anything at that point. So can you talk about maybe some of the biggest challenges, maybe like the 2 biggest challenges you've had in those first 3 years when designing everything? And did you ever feel like you were going to quit when you were facing those challenges?
No, but in those first 3 years, everyone tells you it's not possible. Everyone questions, even if you have money, before they'll give you an answer. Manufacturers, if it's not in their wheelhouse, it's not something that they give you the time of day for. Getting the prototype built, I had I had quotes for prototypes everywhere from $10,000 up to $2 million, just for a prototype. I had people flat out, laugh and call it a Spencer toy. I've had people tell me, I've already seen something like that. And it's not, they didn't see something like that. They heard about, other products that market that do that. So then once I tell them about it, our phones are always listening. So next thing you know, their phone is getting inundated with marketing and other companies that have already launched or within that time. So most of it, when people tell you, when you hear like the Steve Harveys and the motivational speakers say, if you have an idea and it's an idea and you believe in it, don't expect everyone else to believe it. As long as you believe in it, and as long as you believe you can do it, and as long as you see it, that's because that's your vision, and that's kind of the path. Every time someone told me no, it made me just push harder. And sometimes even being rude, just as rude back, because sometimes I ask these people, I say, so normally when a company comes and asks you for a quote, you ask them how much money they have first, because they just assume that you don't have money when you're doing it all by yourself, because I've been doing a lot. I got one partner, but that's it this whole time. So, when you're doing it by yourself, a lot of people assume that you're not capable, or how do you even know? Like, because I'm not, because I studied.
Yeah. And then let's talk about one quick comment. I love your answers. Yes, it's your vision. Keep pushing because you see what others won't see. And, you know, with the line in the background and like you were saying earlier, Steve Harvey, it just seems like you kind of have that spirit of resiliency. Do you kind of spend like your days, it is a little bit not really about, you know, the GoNuts product, but is that what you do? Do you like work on personal development and then you use that to just drive your company forward? Because it just seems like you have that spirit about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have my faith in God and Jesus Christ has always actually been my strength that I use as my foundation, as the one that actually keeps me kind of grounded and moving forward. Has always been there for me in times when no one has. So, and absolutely, I'm a Leo. So I was born on August 4th. So it is kind of, that's what the line is about. But yeah, kind of that's what it reminds me every day. You got to get up and be on your hunt, because if not, you're not going to eat. So yeah, so that's kind of where that comes from. And then, yeah, when times with some of the motivational speaking and stuff like that, I do. It's not every day is not hard. There are days like when you start having some of those questions and all those no's, you get all the no's, all the people who don't think it's a good idea. You're not ready yet. How do you know people even want it? How do you even know people like it? How do you know it works? How do you know? And everybody's a professional too. Everybody's got their opinion, their feedback. They're going to tell you what they would do, what you should do, or they ask you the obvious questions about, you know, like, have you been on Shark Tank? And then I don't even know, like, Shark Tank's like where you go to get your ideas robbed, and it's like, you know, it's like stuff like that. So yeah, you just got to stay focused, because I always knew at the end of the day it's going to be an undeniable product. How it looks, how it works, it's different, it's outside the box, so all that.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, the proof is in the pudding. Everybody that's watching, you need to go out and go get your own version, or you need to go buy the GoNuts. Whether your own version is the woman's with the Go Bear or the men's with the GoNuts, as long with the traveling cases as well. This has been absolutely amazing, and you know, I want to talk about that one. Just one more question for you. As far as like the longevity, you know, everyone claims that, oh, you know, it's a lifetime guarantee, or this is gonna last you 5 years. How long? What's it like the average life for the GoNuts product?
80 hours.
80
hours. Yeah, 80 hours of usage, which is a lot of usage. So I made sure you can get a lot of use out of the blades before you have to replace them, because I know my competition, you got to do it a lot sooner than that. So I made sure that I use quality products that were going to last, like I said earlier, and spared no expense, because I know if you're going to be using it in the way manner it's going to be used, you're not going to necessarily spare any expense to make sure you're protecting your most valuable jewels.
Of course. And then, like you said, not only you're just protecting that, but that translated to everything that you do. Because when you're not feeling, you know, fresh or confident or all of those things that go along with feeling your best, it just translates into every other aspect of your life, whether it's talking to people or the partnerships or the relationships that you might find throughout the street or throughout the day. You never know. It's always important just to invest in yourself every single day. Landon, thank you so much for being here. I need you to tell everybody where they can go buy this product, some more information about yourself. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, tell them a little bit more where they can go find everything.
At thegonutz.com. It's TheGonutz, thegonutz.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, _GONUTZ. You can reach out to me at info@privategrooming.com. That's info@privategrooming.com. And yeah, we're excited. We're doing really well. We're shipping out every day. So it's like I said, place your order. It'll be at your front door in 1 to 2 business days. And thank you for having me. I'm excited. I really enjoyed myself.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and the best of luck and best of success to you as well. Everybody, like I said, go check it out. If anything, just go look at the videos on TikTok, on Instagram, because those are going to answer all of your questions. If he hasn't already, if you have any more, any testimonials, you'll find that all on thegonutswebsite.com. Landon, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time and everything that you've provided to this world, not only just with the products, but, you know, your intelligence, your integrity, and everybody else that you touch from here on out. So thank you so much for that.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries. So everybody go reach out to Landon, go follow him on all his social medias. And right now we're just going to take a quick commercial break just to hear a word from our sponsors. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Thank you, Landon, again. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Basically, it's about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Did you know you can apply to over 50 historically black colleges and universities?
Everybody, the first half was all about Landon McKinnis, and let me tell you, his story is absolutely incredible. If you didn't hear it all yourself, you can go check out his product at thegonutz.com. And, you know, for the second half, we're just going to be me and you, me and the Positivity Posse going back and forth, just bouncing ideas off of each other and just, you know, talking about kind of living in the now, because I know that's been one of the things that I have been kind of I haven't been really putting at the forefront of my mind. And I don't know if you guys are doing that the same as well, but comment whatever, like, you know, things have been going on in your life or just things that you needed to keep as a reminder in the forefront of your mind to make sure that you're living your, you know, your optimal life and your best life. And I can tell you that that's been the thing for me, is really not living in the now, which is something that I always talk about. And I always just like to share with you guys, because living in the now is one of the best things that you could do. You know, there's a quote, and I believe I have it up here. Let me see if I can bring it up for you guys. And it's in a picture. It should be this one. Let's see. Nope, I actually don't have it, but it's by Lao Tzu. And the quote is, I believe, when you live in the past, you know, you live in the past, you kind of live in a state of anxiousness. But when you live in the future, you're just living in a state of anxiousness as well. But it's all about living in the present, and that's when you're going to find your peace as well. Like I said, that's been one of the things, because I've been so hungry to get to the destination, and it's just like, damn, like, you know, when is it going to happen, and how is it going to get there, and when am I going to be able to just, you know, live that life that I know that I'm capable of, and that dream life, so to speak. But, you know, it's very important to just make sure that we're living in the now, because you got to enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. Because when you do get to the destination, how are you even sure? How are you going to practice appreciation for everything? And I know, like I said, it's been something that I don't know why it's been going on, but that's been one of the things that I've been trying to fight, and just really stay in the present moment. And as you guys know, with meditation, yes, that's great and all. And I love meditation, and I'm a huge advocate for it every day. That's what I do, either to start my day or do it in the middle of the day if something happens that I'm not very excited about. Whether it's like, you know, somebody saying something or an event happening that didn't go the way that I prefer it to, you know, things like that. Or at the end of the day, when it's just like, all right, I want to go to sleep and I want to release all of the energy that I've taken for the day. You know, meditation is a huge piece for it. But, you know, that only lasts for so long, for, let's just say, an hour of your day. And I know there's this gentleman named Joe Dispenza that I recently been watching and listening to kind of his teachings and everything that he has to say. And he brought up a great point. And it was like, okay, like, you know, you're meditating, let's just say for an hour a day, which is pretty long. I only do it for about 30 minutes a day. But he goes, yeah, well, you know, if you're doing that for 1 hour a day, what are you doing for the rest of the 23 hours in your day? And I thought about that and I said, wow, you know, that's very true. Cause you know, we got to be the gatekeeper of all the thoughts that go into our minds. Right. And we have to really be conscious of what we're consuming in a day, whether that's food or whether that's media or movies or, you know, all of that kind of the great things or the people that we might have around us. We all have to be conscious of what's going on and what we're taking in for every moment of our day. And I know that's been one of the things that has been, you know, kind of tripping me up a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. And it's been like the past 3 days that's been my intention that I've set for every day, where I'll catch myself not really living in the present moment and thinking about, man, I'm so excited about my future. And, you know, all the things that I'm doing right now is leading me towards the greater path. And then, you know, something will happen where I'll have like a flashback from the past where it was like a moment of kind of just be like, damn, like, why did I do that? Or just like, you know, a cringe moment where you're like, oh, why did I wear that piece of, you know, clothing back in the day or whatever it is. It's really important to always get back to that present moment. And like I said, it's been one of the things that's been on my mind pretty heavy. And I wanted to share that with you guys as well, just to make sure that you are doing that, always staying in the present moment. Cause you know, if I'm doing it, then somebody out there watching right now is probably doing it as well. And, you know, there's different ways to just be conscious of it too, to make sure that we are living our life to the best of our abilities. Because now, when you live in the present and the moment of the now, number one, you can read a book, an entire book about that by Eckhart Tolle. It's called The Power of the Now. But one of the things is that when you are living in the now, you won't have to really worry about everything. Because let's just say if you're worrying about, you know, how you're going to pay your bills. Let's use that as an example. When you're living in the now, right now, you don't have to pay your bills. Like, your bills aren't due right now. I mean, if they are, then yes, you know, you should be thinking about it. And hopefully everything is working out for you and that you know, did everything that you can to pay it. But let's just say if it's not due until like a week from now, or maybe in the middle of the month, why are you worrying about that right now? There's so many other things that you can be grateful about, you know, in order to combat kind of like that negative feelings and the negative thought processes that we might be going on. Here it is. I couldn't have said it better myself. We're just going to end the episode right here with living. I'm going to say living, never dying, right? Because that's kind of an insider. But yeah, living straight up. And I know we can kind of get caught up in everything that we have going on in our lives, whether it's like significant others or, you know, how is it we're going to make ends meet, or how we're going to get to the gym that day, or how we're going to fix our car. There's literally an unlimited amount of things that we can kind of be worried about throughout the day. And I know that that's been kind of on my mind is, oh, like, I'm really excited about the future and not really staying in the presence of the now and the, you know, really indulging and living in the power of the now. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys. If there's anything that's been going on in your mind that, you know, you needed to work through, let us know in the comments, because it's really important that you know that you're not by yourself. And that you're always, you know, there's somebody out there that's living kind of the same things that you're doing, and it's kind of the same things that you're going about. And I know with Landon that we just had earlier, he's probably had some of the same, you know, issues and challenges and things go on in his life that, you know, everybody else in his world said, oh, well, it can't be done. And they start to question his greatness. And I know there's probably the same thing happening with you guys as well, because I know it's been happening with me. But I wanted to share that to let you know that you're not alone. And one of the biggest things and most important things that we can do is to ground ourselves in the moment of the now, in the power of the now, to make sure that we are living our best life and that we're not so focused on our problems, but instead we're focused on, you know, the things that we can be grateful for, whether it's the lights that are going on in our house, that we actually have the ability to flick on the light switch and the power comes on, or we have the ability to call somebody through our phones, right? And we have the, you know, the Wi-Fi paid and the cable paid and running water and all these great things. But when we're not focused on the now and we're focused on the future, or we're focused on the past, those are not the things that we can do to really achieve happiness every day. And like I said, that was one of the biggest things, but there's so many other things as well that happens that we just go about in our everyday lives and we're not sure of it. Like, oh, we're ever going to find true love, or we're going to find our significant person that's in our life, or our significant others. When you're so focused on the negative things in our lives, it makes it that much more harder for us to achieve those great things. Because think about it, if you're so worried or focused about things that, let's just say, oh, well, I don't have enough money to support somebody else, or I don't have the mentality, or I'm just going to focus on myself and my business. There's nothing wrong with that. But if the dominant vibration, while you caring about those things and you carrying those things out, is negative, then that's what's just going to come to us, and that's what we're going to attract in our life. If we're worried about lack and not worried about an abundance of people or an abundance of money, and that's not the things that we're focused on, then that's just what we're going to get into our lives. If you think that there's a lack of money out there, and there's a lack of people that are going to be out there to like you, or to be able to marry you, or to give you kids, or whatever goals it is that you want, like I said, that's just what you're going to get more so in your life. And I subscribe to the idea of the law of attraction. And I found it to be true. It works. I've lived in the times in the life of me not knowing about it and kind of being in the mode or the state of being asleep. And I know that you don't live really your best life, and you don't really get the things that you want, because the dominant vibration is going to be a negative vibration. And as we all know, I show this picture, like, maybe I haven't shown this one in a while, but I want to show it with you guys right now. And here it is. It's the chart to know whatever vibration you are at, that's just what you're going to receive. So if you're all the way down here and you kind of have that fear that you're never going to find somebody, or that guilt or that shame of whatever happened to you 5 years ago, or maybe, last week or 1 year ago, whatever the time frame is, the point is, if you're at this vibration, this is what you're just going to attract more of. You're just going to attract more fear. You're going to attract more guilt and more shame. And that's not what we want. But when we're focused on the now, to say, okay, well, we're in great health right now. And right now, at 9 o'clock at night, I'm sharing it with my positivity posse, with you guys having this show right now. We're able to feel that love and that joy and that peace, knowing that we're fully submerged in the presence of one another, and that we're all here to help each other get to that next level. And so just feel that greatest that we absolutely can. So when we're focused on the now, this is the things that we can focus on to help us achieve that love and achieve that peace and that enlightenment. And listening to, let's just say, Landon's story, right? Not even just us sharing this time together, but listening to our guests as well. These are the things that are going to take us to that next level. And I know that's been such a challenging thing. And I don't know why it's been like, I guess it's because we kind of grow impatient. And I guess that's been one of the things that, I'm going to be honest with you guys. That's been one of the things that I have been, but, I've been working on it. And like I said, the past 3 days, I've been really making that a focal point to make sure that I am being patient, that everything that's happening needs to happen the way that it needs to happen to reach our highest good. And that whatever is happening in our life, whether it's something that we can see right now or maybe not see right now, all of it is working out in our greatest good. And that like I said, these are the things that we need to keep at the forefront of our minds to make sure that we are achieving all the great things that we can achieve. Because it is easy to feel, impatient and to want it right now, because as human beings, that's what we are, right? We want that instant gratification. And especially with the cell phones that we got nowadays and social media, that's what it's all really about. It's about having, you want it all right there, because you see somebody else. Let's just say if we were to go on Landon's page and we were to see kind of his Go Nuts shaver, we see all the great success that he's having. You don't see the sleepless nights that it took for him to get there, or you don't see the 3 years that it took from the prototypes to the manufacturers and everything that it took for him to get to where he is right now. You don't see that in a 5-minute or 30-second social media post. All we see is the success. All we see is the rewards and the lavish lifestyle. If not saying him specifically, I mean, he might be, but for all of your social media influencers out there and all those celebrities that you look up to, you don't really see the hard work in that one social media post. So just make sure that we are understanding that it is a process, that it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. Or if it does happen overnight for you, congratulations, feel with it. And obviously, if it does happen overnight for you, that means you're having a great vibration and you're doing the things right. So keep doing it that way. But for all of us that it may not happen overnight, just make sure that you're taking the time to really appreciate the power of the now, because that's super important to make sure that we are feeling our best and we are living our dominant vibration right now. So we're just going to take one more quick commercial break for you guys, because I wanted to share that with you about having our living in the power of the now and all the great things that we need to do in order to live our best life. But we're just going to take a quick commercial break, and, don't go anywhere. Like I said, do whatever you got to do, share to raise your vibrations, because we'll be right back after a word from our quick sponsors.
Did you know you can apply to over 50 historically black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20? You can with the Common Black College application. Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm the founder of the CBCA. Students around the world have completed the application and received multiple acceptance letters, financial aid packages, and scholarship offers. So visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. And don't forget to pick up the book, Get Educated, the man behind the Common Black College application. Thank you, and get educated.
Thank you so much, like I said, for being here while you're still here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV, giving you guys the best content that you're going to find here, or actually the best content that you're going to find on the internet, because here we're all about giving you guys the keys in order to, and the pieces of golden nuggets or gold bars or however we call them to help us make sure that we're living our best life and achieving the best things that we can in our everyday lives to live that dream life that we know we are capable of living. And I know, like I said, obstacles might come, and that might be the focal thing, and that might be the only thing that we can see in our lives right now is different obstacles that we may have. How are we going to make ends meet, or how are people going to find us, or how are we going to ever find X, Y, Z? We have so many different tools here at our disposal to make sure that we're not feeling those states of, kind of negativity or guilt or shame. And there's so many different things that we can do in order to combat that, whether it's, knowledge on social media. Janae, I couldn't agree with you more. Life is amazing. And that's one of the mantras that you probably tell yourself to make sure that we're feeling all of the great feelings out there in our world and in our, inner world. Because as we all know, everything that we experience in our outer world is just a reflection in our inner world. So, there's a lot of people out there that are saying that maybe life for them may not be all that great, or, we're in a state of recession, or we're in a state of whatever the case, a state of chaos, or whatever it is that you tell yourself, the story that you tell yourself, it's what's going to manifest in your life. So I'm so glad that you said this life is amazing, because if you keep telling yourself that life is amazing, then only amazing things will start to happen to you. And of course, it's not going to be like that every second of every day. Of course, it's going to be things that, some things that might blindside us, or we're not going to see happen, or, it might go the way that we prefer. But as long as you're telling yourself that life is amazing and that everything that's happening to us is for our greatest good, life will start to happen in that great direction, and it'll start to give us the things that we talk about. So like I said, just make sure that you're staying conscious of how you're feeling, because your feelings are the best things and the best indicators to let you know if life is going amazing for you or not. If you're not feeling your greatest, then that just means that you're having to disconnect from the story that you're telling yourself to the things that are actually transpiring in your life. And like I said, there's so many tools out there that we can use in order to feel our best, vibrations in our best life. Number one that I can give you guys is knowledge. If you don't know how to achieve your highest vibration, or you don't know how to achieve your dominant, the things that we've come on this earth to learn about, knowledge is the best way to go about it. Pick up a book. And I know it may sound, really straightforward, but that's the things like, as you guys know, for maybe you don't know, if this is your first time watching, last season 3, I've had the book of affirmations for you guys. And I really read this as much as I can. And, with books, those are one of the best mediums or best vessels that you can use in order to learn about things that we need to do in order to live our best life, right? Like, let's say if you don't know how to raise your vibrations, you don't know how to meditate, or you don't know how to attract into your life, there's so many books out there in your life that'll help you really get to that knowledge. And when you get to that knowledge, you'll know how to apply it in your own life. And when you apply that to your own life, then that's really the key for everything. You'll start to see the shift and all of the events that happen to you. So instead of, your tire popping, you'll have somebody pay for your coffee. And if you don't believe me, obviously you can try it all for yourselves. You can start with something small, like, okay, I'll find $1 on the ground for today. Or like I just said, somebody will buy me coffee, or something great will start to happen for me today. It will happen to you, but you just got to believe it. If you're going in with a negative Nancy mindset to say, oh, well, that's just a coincidence, or things that can never happen to me. Well, then, yes, that's exactly what's going to play out into our lives. It will not happen for you. And you don't think that it's such a coincidence that it doesn't happen if that's the dominant vibration that you have. Well, no, duh, it happened that way because that's the story and that's the way that you said it was going to happen. So, of course, it's happening that way. So, like I said, that's one of the things is knowledge, to make sure that we are reading our books and to, reading to, all these different things. Knowledge, applied knowledge is the best thing that we can do to make sure that we are really finding our best lives and finding ourselves in our grace of life and just an appreciation for life. The second best thing that I can give you guys is the media out there. There's so many different kinds of media that we can use, whether it's documentaries or videos on YouTube or, television shows like you got with us right now. There are people that have lived the lives that you want to live and experienced the experiences that you want to experience. So why would you not listen to them, right? If you have dreams of living a Lamborghini lifestyle and, you want all of the lavish things in your life, why are you guys going to listen to somebody that doesn't have those things and that they're trying to get to their, that destination as well? They haven't unlocked the secret and they haven't cracked the code. So don't listen to them. If they're, like I said, no disrespect to the people that don't have the things that they want. But if you want a Lamborghini, why would you listen to somebody that has, a 1995 Honda Accord? There's nothing wrong with that, but you just don't have whatever it is that I'm looking for. So thank you for your input. I appreciate your guidance, but I'm not going to choose to listen to somebody like that. And now, obviously, this comes with a caveat because you need to be able to discern what works for you and what resonates for you versus the things that don't, right? And I can tell you one example of that is, David Goggins. If you guys don't know about him, he's like one of like the embodiment of like resiliency. Go check him out if you haven't checked him out. But, he talks about going into everything at 100% speed and just giving your all to it. And he is known for being a person that has achieved a lot of great things. So you can listen to that, and I would you can take that advice as well. But there's other people that say, oh, well, you're supposed to have balance in your life. You can't just go into your work 100% and not expect anything to happen because you got to have friends and you got to have family and you got to take care of your body and all of those great things that go along with it. So you have the power to discern what works for you and what's not going to work for you as well. So I just wanted to say right here, Jeanette, be conscious of the unconscious. What are we doing in our daily lives? We have to remind ourselves of how we're acting throughout the day, the best version of you daily. And like I said, the hardest part out of that one is being the best version of you daily. But, just to give you an example, like take that for an instance, just because I said it's the hardest part of the day, then that is what's going to transpire. So I'm going to change that to say that's the part of the day that we need to work on the most, and that it is the most achievable thing that we can do every day. So I'm going to change that right there to say that instead, versus saying that it's difficult. It's the thing that we can achieve every day, and it is possible to achieve it every day. So thank you for that comment. Thank you for your great content, positive vibes only. Of course, come on. That's all that we talk about here on Weekly Dose of Dano, and to give you guys the blueprint and the gold bars in order to achieve our everyday lives. So that's all that we have for today. It was such a great episode. I'm so glad that Landon was able to come on to share his product, thegonutz.com, to talk about his male and female groomers and shavers and all of the time that he took for him to really establish himself as one of the best in the business, and to make sure that any, nicks or crannies or everything that you can think about going wrong with shaving and grooming, he took that out of the equation as well. And to really talk about his journey and his journey to what it took for him to get to where he is today. So everybody, that's all the time that we have here for Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Come back next week. We have Chuck Johnson coming on next week, and he is an MMA fighter that's world renowned. He actually lives in Tokyo in Japan. He actually lives in I believe it's Japan. Yes, he lives in Japan. So that's coming on next week. So make sure you bring your questions for next week, because if you're interested in MMA and fighting and self-defense, he's been all in all different kinds of movies and commercials, all these great things. So come back next week to bring your good vibes, your comments, and your questions, because we appreciate that here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. And like I said, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Peace, everybody. Have a great weekend and stay safe.